I can't take this. I really can't. I mean, did I think I could really take care of a cranky old man with a bad heart? What was I thinking?
You were thinking about, well, let's see, it starts with an M and it ends with a Y.
So what if he made me Quartermaine heir? It does not make me his servant.
Sure it does.
Do you know what the man wanted for dinner?
Rice cakes and lettuce?
No, lobster bisque and a T-bone steak.
Oh, that sounds good. I'll have any leftovers you got hanging around.
Well, he got chicken soup and crackers, but the crackers are too crumbly and the soup was too hot, and then it was too cold, and then I found him clothes, but they weren't properly tailored. I mean, never mind that the man would be in a straitjacket if it weren't for me.
Well, you know, some men need a firm hand.
What's that supposed to mean?
Find out.
Where is my brandy? What happened to my cigar? And what is that reprobate doing in my living room again?
Edward?
Do not plan on spending the evening, Spencer.
Excuse me, but you don't get to decide who spends the night in my house and who doesn't.
Aha! An invitation!
First, you try to starve me to death, and then you deprive me of sleep.
Where did you say you could send him?
That ticket to Rio is good anytime he wants to use it.
This man isn't well enough to travel.
I thought you wanted to get rid of him.
He is well aware that she's counting the seconds.
Excuse me, but I don't want you to drop dead in an airplane.
He'll be in first class. Who'll notice?
Why don't you call Tracy? Have her turn him in. Haul him off to Shadybrook. Throw away the key.
I'm trying to save you from Tracy.
Where on earth do you keep the brandy, huh?
Oh, I'm sorry, Edward. I drank it all, but I'll bring you some
Don't
next time I
even
come
think
over.
about it.
You see what I'm up against?
Yeah.
Come on. All right, hi. Just get down. Get down right here. Right in there. All the way.
Guys, water! Freezing out here. Let me in.
God. It's open.
Oh. Listen, I've got some good news, but if my mom finds out I told you, I won't live to see puberty.
Fire wasn't my fault.
My room was up to code, and the fire was started intentionally in the basement.
Oh, it's over, Sky. It's over.
No, Grandpa, that's the point. It's not over. Ned is bribing the fire inspector to bury the documents tonight.
So that means that Tracy retains her excuse to throw Edward in the bin.
And take over ELQ.
Well, no, my mom and Ned are gonna split ELQ 50-50, but...
Ned finally turned against me. Doesn't come as a surprise. I didn't think he was fool enough to team up with your mother, though.
Well, maybe he's scamming her.
She deserves it.
Hang on, people. We're getting off track. Did you get the name of the inspector?
Morse. Like the fire code. That's how I remember. It's like... Morse code.
All right, we have to get to that inspector before Ned does.
You're reading my mind.
Would you excuse me, please?
Sure. How can I help you?
Well, I'm telling you, I take one step out of New Orleans and I get completely lost. Isn't that silly? But these government buildings, they do just throw me for a loop, I'm telling you, although I can't imagine how anyone's brain can operate properly in this kind of cold.
Well, we're used to it.
Well, I do imagine that a big, strong man like yourself couldn't even feel it.
But I can feel the heat.
Aren't you the clever one?
So what do you need?
Well, I was wondering if you'd do me a favor. You see, I need to go to this place, and I was wondering if you'd step out into the hall with me and indicate where it is that I'm trying to get to.
Sure.
Oh, thank you. I'm telling you, I'm so turned around, I can't tell the light from the dark these days.
What in the hell do you think you're doing?
Why hasn't this fire inspection report been filed with the national office?
Because it's preliminary.
That's no excuse.
It's policy.
It was policy. Didn't you get the memo?
Who the hell are you?
We're federal fire inspectors, straight from the Capitol.
Yeah, well, let me see your identification.
Oh, you should have asked for that identification right off the bat. I'm afraid I'm going to have to cite you for that.
Why aren't the Quartermaines implicated in this report?
Because that building was up to code.
Really? How much did they bribe you to say that?
Hey.
You took a bribe, didn't you?
No, I would never take
Well, we're just going to have to take this to the national office, I'm afraid.
But it's preliminary.
Yes, well, preliminary is important to us, and we will take it, and we will contact you in 3 days from the Capitol. I'm watching you. Let's go.
Yeah, well, I knew you weren't from New Orleans.
Are we good or are we great?
Fabulous.
Good evening, Inspector.
Where's the report?
What do you mean? The feds have the fire report?
They got to the inspector first.
That's what you get for soul searching. If you'd left when I told you to...
Calm down. We'll think of something else.
I already did. Thank God.
Get out of here, both of you. You have no business being in this house.
Where the hell have you been?
I got proof. It's over. I'm not to blame for that fire.
How did you get that report?
I'm resourceful, unlike my offspring.
Let me see that.
Ah. Doesn't say who did it. Only that I didn't do it.
Let me see it, Daddy. Daddy, give
Keep
it.
away, my favorite game. Agent Spencer reporting for duty, sir.
Well, I guess I should have known.
And the ever-lovely Agent Blaze, of course.
We posted that report on the internet. Gave it WLPC and dropped it off at the Port Charles Herald.
Eddie wins. You lose.
Brandy, anyone, please.
Thank heavens you got here so quickly.
You wouldn't.
Please, help my poor father. Take him to Shadybrook for his own good.
Get out of my house, now.
It's gonna be all right.
Do something.
I am. This is for the good of the family.
Ned, you don't want to see him locked up?
I'm not crazy.
Daddy, don't be afraid. You see this?
I don't believe this.
No. It's a forgery. It's gotta be a forgery. Alan and Molly would never agree to get me to go into Shadybrook. They would...
What, are you trying to kill him?
Daddy needs to be in the hospital, Sky.
Ned, this man has devoted his entire life to you, to this family. Yes, he has made mistakes, but he's always loved you. You just can't throw him away like this.
It's difficult for everyone, but don't you worry, Daddy. You're gonna be just fine.
You tell your grandmother I love her. And I will be back soon.
Edward, I will do whatever I can to get you out of there as soon as I can, I promise.
Institutions are my specialty, Edward.
I appreciate everything you can do. Now what the hell are you waiting for? Let's go.
Bye-bye, Daddy.
It's cold in here.
You're gonna pay for this, both of you.
The next step is to nullify the will.
That won't happen.
My father was deluded, confused. You took advantage of him, you cow.
So tell me, Ned, how will you ever explain this to Lila?
She understands Edward better than anyone. She knows that he brought this on himself.
I know a thing or two about loony bins, who's supposed to be in and who's supposed to not be in. Edward's an annoying pain in the butt, but he's not crazy. Sky and I will make sure the old codger doesn't suffer because of you two. Right?
That's right.
I don't need therapy. I'm just as sane as you are.
I'll be back in an hour to take you to your session. Work on your attitude. I'll be bringing a straitjacket.
You're wasting your time if you think you're going to get out that way.
Talk about somebody who needs a straitjacket. So, are you here to help me, or what?
I'm here to take you home, Edward.
I can trust you now, right, Spencer?
You don't have a fistful of options, my friend.
I'm not wearing that habit again, I'll tell you that.
Well, this time we're going to dress you as a cheerleader.
A cheerleader?
All right, calm down. You'll give yourself another heart attack.
Are you beyond any consideration for an older man with a weak heart?
That older man with a weak heart thing, it may work with Sky and the rest of your clan, but I could care less. Now get these on and let's get the hell out of here. Rubber bands give me the creeps.
You're only doing this to impress Sky anyway.
Edward, you got about 30 seconds to drop your
All
pants.
right,
Otherwise,
all right.
I'm flying out of here alone.
What's going on in here?
I am with the patient, alsjeblieft. No interruptions.
You aren't on staff here.
I am Dr. Vermeer. Dr. Vermeer. I just came here from the Netherlands.
The Dr. Vermeer, Dr. Hans Vermeer.
Ja, natuurlijk. Ik ben hem.
I've read every one of your papers. Your technique is revolutionary. I'd love to observe you with the patient.
Oh, no. Oh, no. No audience for my therapy. My family put a lot of strings to have a consult with Dr. Vermeer.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I must respect the wishes of my patients.
Of course. I'll leave you alone.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but I have to ask. Will you be using the causal theory to treat Mr. Quartermaine?
Is it difficult to breathe in here? Huh?
The causal theory? Yeah, I will causal him
The
all the
causal
way.
theory was developed by Faye Snyder. It completely contradicts the work of Dr. Vermeer. So who exactly are you?
Grandfather's in a mental hospital?
It's a long story.
Yes, Tracy thought it was for the best.
Yeah, well, I don't. Nicholas won't transfer a dime of that money until Grandfather is released.
Thank you, dear Emily. It's nice to know that someone still cares about me.
Evening, Quartermaines. Tracy. Well, I promised to bring the old boy out of the bubble house. Here he is, free and angry as hell.
Now that my name has been cleared, I plan to take my place at the head of the family.
It's not that simple, Daddy.
Of course it is.
All this arguing is not good for Edward's health. He's just had major surgery.
All right, Quartermaines, listen up. The argument about who's going to run ELQ is closed. Sky's taking over.
Sky, I appreciate everything you've done since the fire.
Well, I'm just glad to see you're okay.
Luke's been helpful, too. But he doesn't quite understand the situation at ELQ. I appreciate your input, I really do, but I think it's best now that I take over as CEO.
Easy, Edward. I can drop you back in the bin as quickly as I got you out.
Luke, it's okay. Look, I don't want to run ELQ, all right? I just want to make sure it's not pulled out from under him by that tarantula he calls a daughter.
I'd be moved by your nobility if I didn't know the true motivation behind your newfound altruism. What is she talking about?
Grandfather has named Sky sole heir in his latest will.
Since when?
Don't let him do this, Blaze. Don't quit while you're ahead.
Why would I want to waste my time running ELQ? Not when I have the casino, the Haunted Star, where I am full partner, where I'm fully appreciated.
You better believe it.
The matter of who should be CEO still needs to be voted on. I say we open the issue.
Okay. Well, I have Lila's proxy, and I'm backing Edward.
Now you see, Tracy, your little coup has failed.
Don't be so sure, Grandfather.
Ned, my boy, it was expedient for you to side with your mother when it looked like she was succeeding. It was good business, but the tables have turned. Get back in line behind me and I might consider forgiving you.
You double-crossed me once too often when you made Sky your sole heir. So I think it's time that you hear what the rest of the Quartermaines have to say about your latest betrayal.
That's 2 votes for Edward, 1 vote for Ned and Lizzie Borden. Who are you backing, Dr. Quartermaine?
My father's seen us through tough times before.
Oh, please, Alan, can't you put aside your pathetic need to please Father for once in your life and think about the future of the family?
I am. My daughter seems to think he's the right man for the job, and so do I. I vote for my father.
So that leaves you, Dr. Quartermaine.
Well, clearly I don't trust Tracy.
Good. And it's all settled.
But I've seen you ignore your health for years, Edward, and I don't think your heart could stand the stress of rebuilding ELQ. So, with great reservations...
Monica, don't do that.
I'm going to vote for Tracy.
Alan, do you see the treachery you have brought into this house?
You did the right thing, Monica. Good for you.
Stuff it.
Well, ladies and germs, we seem to have a tie.
Well then, as senior stockholder, it seems I get to make the deciding vote.
Is that in the bylaws?
Unfortunately, it is.
Sky, we've won.
Well, don't get too excited yet, Daddy. You seem to have forgotten that since the fire, I've held your power of attorney.
That has no bearing here.
Wrong again. It does. Actually, you see, when you were in Shadybrook, suddenly it occurred to me that AJ's vote hadn't gotten transferred to another shareholding family member, so I took care of that.
That's the swing vote.
Well, who is it?
Hey, Mom, you wanted to see me?